being in love with yourself. One of the things that I was experiencing for vast majority of my life is that I never really fully truly liked myself. I kind of often pretended that I did, and I would be boasting around saying I'm the best looking, this and that and so on, but I never really meant it from the heart. It was a pretense. I was pretentious. And the reason for that, it was a ego reflex as I sneeze from hay fever, which I'll cover in another subject, in another video, as to how to deal with that naturally. I was a pretentious guy, and my ego was reflexing in a excuse me, direction that I really wanted to be in, but didn't know how to be in. I was pretending. And that was increasingly getting on my nerves, as I could never really sit on my own and just be at peace, be effectively in love with myself. Don't need anyone else. It's just the peace and love are unconditional in this case. And that's what I discovered through doing the Fresh Mind process. I discovered the unconditional peace and love for myself, first of all, and then unconditional peace and love for everyone else. Every living thing, even everything. And just as a choice of the way I am, I'm loving and peaceful, first towards myself and then towards everyone else. This is such a profoundly beautiful way to be, because those are all emotions. They appear to those people who can't be in love with themselves and at peace with themselves. They appear as though the person is detached from reality. They might appear like this person is just doesn't care, like no fucks were given by this person, which to a great extent is actually true, because I don't ever really give a fuck about a thing that I certainly can't make an impact on. And I've realized there's many things I can't impact. So there's no point in stressing and worrying about them, especially fearing them, because I can't change it. Acceptance is a very powerful thing. And acceptance for myself as I am was by far the most powerful thing I've ever done. To be able to just sit on a bench in a bit of a forest, a hideout next to the river, and just be okay with that. Be blissful, relaxed, loving, present, enjoying the moment, joyous, without anything seemingly happening at all. There's nothing happening in this place. It's just me. Me, myself, and I, in my own bliss, peace, relaxation, acceptance of myself. And dare I say, also liking myself. That acceptance means I come to a point where I'm okay with myself. And I'm kind and loving towards myself, as opposed to constantly being agitated and full of anxiety about things which I can't even specify. I can't even think about what they are. I'm not even aware of them. That's how I was. Now I'm a lot more aware of everything. In fact, in some of the consciousness IQ tests I scored after the Fresh Mind process, I scored like 99 out of 100%, which I'm pretty happy with. sometimes I think about the other 1% and wonder, what was there? What did I miss out? It's much better than I scored in that test before the fresh mind process, which was closer to like 77, 80%. That 10% or 20% makes a massive difference in life. It's, in my case, it was quite literally the difference between life and death, because I was suicidal. I was really deeply clinically depressed for a short period of time, but it was an intense emotion, completely opposite of the way I am today, the way I feel. And what this also means is that in very tricky circumstances, in pressure-full circumstances, I can still remain content, peaceful, joyous, calm, balanced, present, cool-headed, able to make decisions for myself and the people I work with or live with, etc. It can appear like very, very strange and odd to everyday people who would, if they find themselves in a shocking situation, they would react with shock and overreact and start doing stupid stuff, versus stay calm, stay focused, stay balanced, and stay focused on solutions, working towards solutions, working towards getting out of that bad situation. Today's humanity and situation that we live in seems to be loaded more and more with problems, anxiety, depression, struggle, unhappiness, unfulfilledness. And for many people, it's hard to define or specify for them as to why that is. Many people try and run away from their problems. They try to hide or do other things that kind of take their mind away from facing the truth, the real issues that they need to resolve. And that running away can happen for the entire life. I know some people who've run away from themselves for decades and decades, maybe entire life. They just don't even want to contemplate or think or consider the idea that their life is actually changeable by themselves, for themselves. Because it's a kind of strange loop that if you don't like yourself, then you're not really incentivized to improve yourself. Weirdly, I was motivated by my future self, the idea of who I could be, a person who isn't clinically depressed, a person who is at least okay with life, who is able to carry on with some sort of purpose and sense of worth. So I was motivated by effectively that which I wasn't being at that time. But I was clever enough mentally to at least contemplate the fact that I could become that person. So I was motivated by my future self and wanted to get out of the rut mentally that I found myself in. Practically, things were all okay, more or less. But here, mentally, conceptually, it was a mess. More or less. It kind of rhymes. So it's hard for people to break out of that doom loop of I don't like myself, I'm not worth it, and then motivate themselves to fix their lives because they find it hard to imagine a life that's much more worth living. And this goes for people of all kinds. Rich people suffer from this a lot, just like not so rich people. So it's generally a human condition, irrespective of the amount of money in the bank account. And that's why it's such a important thing to talk about and to remind everyone that if you want to solve any of your life situations that are non-wanted situations in your life and that are ultimately on you to fix, but you might be stuck as to how you can fix them because you're stuck on fixing yourself, reach out to me and let's talk about the Fresh Mind program, or check it out on freshmind.life.